What's shaking, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Kate Bush, and I'm very excited. We're going to start another album, 1982, The Dreaming. I know eventually we're going to get some more electronic sounds, some more synths. I remember what Seb was saying when this deep dive began that, you know, some of the stuff I would hear on the Kick Inside and her 70s stuff was very different from anything I had been going through prior to that, and he was absolutely right about that. But he did mention that as she moves into the 80s, we do begin to hear more electronic sounds. We've gotten a little bit of that on the previous album, and sort of the atmospheric kind of like inhabited world sounds, only adding to the already significant theatricality of her music. But yeah, I'm excited to keep going and see the different avenues, and maybe, as I said, a bit more of an electronic flavor that she'll bring in. So yeah, the first tune on The Dreaming is Sat in Your Lap. You know, it speaks to some sort of like intimate setting or bond, and I don't necessarily mean intimate in a sort of like late night sense. I think of it more as like maybe paternal or maternal. I suppose it does also conjure images of the like classic archetype of Santa with the kid on his lap and so on. I doubt it'll be sort of holiday themed in that way. I would imagine it is more like parent and child, that sort of concept, and perhaps, you know, it might be speaking about the way in which if someone's parents pass away, there's like a lack of connection, and it was, you know, among, if not the most intimate bonds that anyone will have in their life, because it's, you know, the people who sort of raise you and sort of bring you up into the world and sort of, you know, or ultimately you depend on, you know, even years after you are born. So, yeah, that's where my brain would maybe take it, the idea that it's Kate referring to some sort of like parent-child bond that perhaps, you know, maybe it's still there, maybe it's, maybe the parent isn't dead, but it's the idea that over time, like sitting in someone's lap becomes less of a physical reality, less of a sort of like regularity of their actual immediate interaction, and perhaps more indicative of the way in which, like, you know, originally it was like the nest for a young person, and then they sort of go out into the world. So yeah, it makes me think of parent-child relations and the idea of sort of nurturing something. So I guess we'll see if that has any relevance. I feel like with Kate Bush reactions, not only do my speculations about titles have usually less chance of being valid in one way or another, it still remains true that her titles and sort of, you know, the way her songs are so full of like characters and sort of, you know, change over time and sort of like really dynamic characters, that ultimately I'm inclined to like think a lot about the tunes, even though, again, I'm aware that I'm often, you know, just running in directions that don't relate to the very specific narrative in question. So I will continue to do this. I think there's a few people, Nicola, I do remember, was saying like, you know, we enjoy these, so, you know, don't stop doing it, even if it turns out that a lot of what you're saying isn't necessarily where she goes with it. So I will continue to do that. In any case, let's listen to this one. This is Kate Bush. The tune is Sat in Your Lap, and it's from the 1982 album, The Dreaming. Oh. Percussive, frenetic, kinetic, but also a bit of a jazzy feel. Whatever the like effect is on that, it's just like double and triple. Like PA system. lot of years of schooling, a lot of money. Has gone she's like a high priestess of music. Like, I don't know.
In my doom library, a home of activity. I want the answers quickly, but I don't have the energy.
So many different types of vocals in one song.
But there is nothing within me. My cup should never overflow. Which is I would more than go with. Some gray and white and matter. Give me the color, mama. Coming up the ladder. You're coming up the ladder. I get to my cup. Up the ladder. To better, better. To Salisbury.
I'm speechless. I don't.
I'm on the steady. Across the desert, across the river, across the earth, across the water.
Like, all her songs are journeys, but that is just insane. Like, it's like, I don't know if there's any music as creative as it. Of course, there's all sorts of different creative groups I'm going through, but like, it's like my brain would just never come up with sort of the sort of rhythms and the sort of the changing styles even within like one section or dynamic of a singular tune. So I seriously, like, the creativity of her songs is just like next level. Like, it's, you know, exponential. And this one, it's like I had no idea where it's going, but each turn is interesting. Each turn she's doing something new vocally. And like the sonics, it has sort of, you know, her up and down kind of like vocal bits, but then also like it has that very sort of rhythmic percussive feel to different sections, including like the opening bit. Yeah, I mean, that's insane. That's like, as an album opener, that just has me sort of like wide-eyed, like, you know, the deer in the headlights thing. I don't even know what's coming because it's just so crazy. So yeah, really excited by that opener. Obviously, lyrically, I gotta catch up. Again, shout out to all the people who've helped me with her lyrics, which, you know, in terms of all the deep dives I'm doing, it is more perhaps immediately helpful with her songs than with some others where it's like, you know, there's a lot of like, I'm not quite sure, you know, what's going on here. Whereas it seems like Kate, you know, she's talking about stories, like particular stories with particular themes, even if they're not always easy for me to catch up on a first listen. So in any case, really cool opener. Do let me know what you think of this. I will see you next time. Peace.